talking to
All right, we're going to talk about Johnny Mnemonic. This is a 1995 game from Williams with design by George Gomez, art by John Yausi, software by Tom Euban. Sound is by Dave Zabriskie. I hadn't heard of him until I looked up the background on this. And the pricing for this game is $2,400 to $2,800. So the theme of this review was so Nick and I were discussing some games to put together, and it was let's get some like 90s bang for the buck games. So it was this, Doctor Who, and Judge Dredd were the three options. And our backers on Patreon and Twitch were the ones who voted on this game. So if you want to have your say in which game we review every month, you can subscribe to us on Twitch or support us on Patreon. So
that's right.
Let's get into it, and we'll start with the art of Johnny Mnemonic. So this is art by John Yausi, pretty legendary pinball artist. So there's the cabinet. A lot of times, something to note on this is if you see the cabinet, a lot of the times it's not going to be really red. It's going to be really faded because the cabinets tended to fade on this. So if you find one that's not faded, that's going to factor into the price. So either it's been held away from the windows where the UV light would have faded the cabinet, or it's been redecaled, and I know a lot of folks have done that. So what do you think of the art on Johnny Mnemonic?
Well, see, I'm partial to black and blues. It's like my favorite colors, so I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think it's a good looking game. I dig it. I'm very positive on the art on it. Playfield looks great. It's striking the way it looks. It almost has like I don't want to say comic book look to it. It's not like a photorealistic look, right?
Yeah.
But it's not super cartoony. It's like somewhere in the middle. More, I would say, like more comic book-esque. A lot of blue, a lot of white, like, a lot of black, and then the red sort of pops to highlight like kind of shots and the shot flow of it.
Yeah, it's very. I'm a big fan of the art and the overall look of this game. It's very 90s kind of cyberpunk, the 90s future looking kind of thing.
But not cheesy 90s. Like, you saying like a 90s look, you think of like some like neon colors and stuff.
True. It's not Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, it's not too 90s to me in that sense. Yeah. I don't know. It's cyberpunk though. You nailed it. Like it's yeah, I dig it.
So it's got one of my favorite things is the floppy disk on the outlane for the ball save.
Oh yeah,
and then we'll get into the display animations, but I like those as well with the menus, the like early Windows menu system and stuff. It's very good. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked on the art on Johnny Mnemonic.
I still got to watch this movie.
You never watched it?
No.
Oh, come on.
I still
you
got to
live it through Jones, bro.
I want to know what's going on with the dolphin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No spoilers yet.
Let me look up I got to watch it on Blu-ray because I don't watch it on DVD because I'm a snob. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see. You keep on going. I'm going to do my Amazon shopping.
All right. So while Nick goes shopping, I'll start talking about the sound. So the sound on this game is really good. I think of, it's got some amazing call-outs, like making a long-distance phone call. It's got really memorable lines from the movie integrated with it. It's got a sound-alike for, what's his name there? The main actor dude.
What the shit? $50 for this? No, come on. I'm not paying $50 for fucking Johnny Mnemonic.
You sign up for, you know what? Martha can get it from the library.
I doubt they probably have a DVD and I'm not going to watch it. So it's just going to go unwatched.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves, thank you. Don't panic flip. So Keanu Reeves sound alike in the art package, in the sound package. A lot of like really cool sound effects, and I think of the ball save coming back. That's a sound effect I remember. This is a game I used to own, so I know it very well. It's even got some cool call outs that happen during attract mode and things like that. So it's got Ice-T, Henry Rollins in the movie. It's got an Ice-T sound. Is it really Ice-T in the game, or I think it's a sound alike?
Probably sound alike.
Yeah,
I put money on that.
But yeah, cool sound effects, cool music. What do you think?
Agreed.
Sound. Agreed. Okay.
I like the sound a lot. I do. This game's got a good package in terms of art and sound. And the lighting's good too.
It is. But before we talk about lighting, let's talk about toys. So you think toys, the one thing everybody talks about on this game is the glove, and the glove is in the back of the pinball machine. You can see it there. So there's 2 gloves, but one of them, the one in the middle of the game right now, if you're looking at the screen, there's an up kicker, and it's got a magnet in it, and the ball shoots up and it sticks into the glove, and then you can move it over to the right into the grid, which I have an up close shot of it there. And you can drop it into the grid, and the grid factors into some of the features on the game, some of the scoring. It also determines where your multi-ball jackpots are going to be. If you get 3 in a row, it'll multiply your jackpots during multi-ball. There's actually a lot of strategy in the glove, and it was one of the features that I love the most. So when I bought this game, I had this game like four years ago, probably. It was one of the first games I had, and at that time, everybody would say, oh, it's great, it's super fast and flowy, but the glove slows it down too much. So that's why it sucks, or that's what holds it back. I disagree. I think the glove adds a layer of strategy, and you see that ball shoot up out of the playfield in the glove. It's an amazing toy and trick. And then, so the trick to the glove is you need to get good at keeping an eye on the screen while watching where the grid is flashing, because it tells you the first time you lock it into the glove what awards are at which spaces, so you can use that to jack up your bonus multipliers, to start your video modes, things like that. So there's a lot more to it than you can really realize at first. And having owned the game, that's something that really stood out to me as a level of, kind of a next level strategy on this game, which I liked a lot.
Yeah, and I've said this before, and as RLM says in chat, it gives you a chance to breathe, because this game is very fast game. So it's a welcome relief when the glove kind of pauses the game for a second.
Yeah.
Which is, you would think that the glove will drive you nuts and it slows it down. That's what you would think. And maybe some people feel that way. I don't. And as Kevin pointed out, there's strategy in terms of where you drop it. If you're playing a multiplayer game, you're selecting jackpots with it, and you can block people out of certain jackpots. So it's cool. It's actually, surprisingly, it's a good toy that, despite slowing it down, despite seeming like it would be bad, it works. Yep.
Love it. And the one thing that this kind of gets into gameplay a little bit, but it comes out of this glove, is the video mode. I think that's the one thing that slows it down to a point where I was like, I do not want to play this video mode anymore.
Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah.
I got good at it. I could get through like 3 levels of it consistently, and it would get you an extra ball, which is why I would always end up playing it. But it's just so slow, and it's just like, I do not want to play this anymore. So that's one negative on this game. But we'll talk about that more when we talk about gameplay and rules and stuff like that. First, let's talk about the display and lighting. So the DMD on this game, I think, is really cool. It integrates well with the theme. It's got the I think of the ball save animation when it pulls like the Windows style menu and it drops down and it says ball save. It's very well integrated, cool animations, cool artwork. When you get the Yakuza mode going and the rockets are flying and exploding, and there's just a lot of action, and it displays well on the screen in addition to in the game itself. What do you think about the display, the DMD, and the lights on this game too?
I mean, the display is very 90s, but it gets the job done. The light's good, and the lights tie in also. Like, there's a lot of good flashing when moments happen on it, like with dialing on the phone and stuff.
Yeah.
But should we jump ahead to like the coolest thing with the lights?
Yeah.
Is at the end?
We can. Yeah.
All right.
Because we're gonna get into the rules and gameplay and all that.
So the game has a cool wizard mode where it's a power down mode.
Yeah.
As you're progressing through it and you're hitting shots, it starts like shutting down like the lights, like the GI and the inserts on parts of the game.
Yeah.
So basically you're in pitch black by the end.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it has one of the best wizard modes in pinball. It's like
very much so.
One of the shining features of this game. And it's hard to get to, so you don't see it all the time, but it's not like Valinor or something you'll never see.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I think I like this game and I appreciate this game, is it's reasonable challenge.
Yeah. And it's got what looks like the MCP, the Master Control Program from Tron in there too, which I appreciate.
And I think that's Steve Ritchie's voice when he's talking.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. It's a safe bet to always say that.
If there's a voice in there that sounds like this, it's probably Steve Ritchie. But yeah, it's so it shuts down the different zones of the game, and it goes dark, and eventually you get to a point where it just shuts down, and then you come back into the game. So it's really cool. But let's talk about the overall gameplay of the game, which is the shots, the feel. What do you think on this? I've been talking a lot about Johnny Mnemonic. What are your thoughts about how the game shoots?
I was shopping for Johnny Mnemonic,
I know.
Unfortunately, you can't find that. You can't buy it.
What?
I have to watch it stream. I have to watch it streaming, but I wanted to buy it.
Okay.
Anyway, so this is one of my favorite shooting games in pinball. I love the speed of it. I love the flow of it. There's a lot of shots that you just hit it and it's back on the flipper instantaneously. So you can get it going pretty fast. And I think it presents a good challenge, and it just feels really smooth. It just feels very well designed. I think this is in terms of design, I think it's George Gomez's best design. Almost, I'm willing to say that. It's he's got good designs, but I just love the speed and flow of it. The smoothness.
That's what. So I first played this game at the old Papa headquarters, and I was probably a couple of years into the hobby at that point, but it was one of the first games I remember like comboing ramps on and being like, wow, this just feels really cool to shoot.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel great when you start hitting those ramps. They're not hard, but they're also not easy, if that makes sense. Like if you're not dialed in, you'll miss, but if you're going, you'll just all day left right combos really fast, right back to the flipper. The orbits are super fast, like probably some of the fastest orbits in pinball.
The spinner's satisfying, and that can be worth an unbalanced set of a lot of points.
Yes,
it's very satisfying to rip it. And also, I like the shot, the scoop shot for the crazy bobs.
Yes,
like that's like when you kind of plug it in, like plunk into there. Exactly. Yeah. There's that just that tactile feel where it's like thump, and it's in there and it's dialing the phone.
Yep.
I don't know. It's a good game.
Same with the straight up the center. There's a shot that goes into the glove. There's like a scoop back there, but there's a drop target that pops up too.
Yeah.
But when that's not up, you can throw it back there, and it's got that same kind of feel where it locks in and it slams up into the glove, and you're like, yes, I did it. Look at that amazing, cool like moment that just happened. So it's really cool. It's a great shooting, great playing game. Really smooth all around. Let's talk about some of the rules. So I think this is the rules are cool, but there are some key flaws in this game as well.
Rules-wise. So the when you get the spinner lit, it's basically OP, and you just rip the spinner, and then you can forget about everything else in the game, and you'll just blow up the score.
Right.
So it's like, do you want to play for score, or do you want to play through the game the way you're supposed to play through the game, which is it's a mode-based game. It's beating the modes and trying to get the power down. So that's the fundamental problem with the game. It's like you need I don't know, are there any ROMs that like nerf that and just make it what it should be?
Not that I know of, but people will nerf the spinner intentionally, especially if they use it at Papa or Pinburg.
Yeah,
they'll like intentionally make the spinner so it doesn't spin very well.
Which sucks, because you don't want, that's not the answer to the problem, right?
Yeah,
it's a software problem,
right? So if you're playing the game and that's how you score all the points, and you're setting all that up, and then you nail the spinner and it doesn't rip, then that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody's like done some like homebrew.
It's possible we just don't know.
Maybe,
we're not scouring Johnny Mnemonics, but we haven't come across it kind of naturally.
Yeah.
I think the rules are good. I mean, it's mode. As Kevin was saying earlier, it's not an impossible wizard mode, but it's not something you're gonna get to every time. So we like the balance of it. The modes are fine. It has you utilizing all the play field.
Yep.
There's also like when you shoot the left ramp and then right ramp, you get some awards. There's like the Ninja Star awards on there. So there's things to do on the game.
Yeah, there's a couple of levels of things to do. It's not just.
Then you got the glove, and where you drop the ball in the glove is the jackpot. So when you're a multi-ball, the multi-ball can like be different every game.
Yep.
Depending on what shots you want to be jackpots, which is very cool, especially in multiplayer games. So I think really good rules. It's just the spinner is a major flaw in terms of balance.
Yep.
But if you're just playing by yourself and you're not competitive, then you can just ignore that aspect because you're trying to get to the end of the game anyways.
It's also kind of fun. I remember playing with the intent of like, I want to stack up all the like bonus multipliers and everything to see how much I can get that spinner worth and have a carryover ball to ball and just like blow it up and see how many points I can get. So it's also kind of a fun goal to go for if you're just playing by yourself too. But the other drawback, and we mentioned it before, is the video mode. You can avoid it if you want, but sometimes you'll get it out of the scoop, and you can get it off of the grid too. And it's fun for a couple times, and then you're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
But basically, if you don't know what it is, it's so you got a little dot and you're trying to run over the other dots. But there's 4 buttons on the side of the cabinet, and 2 are left, right, and 2 are up, down. So it's kind of a mind game. It reminds me of like trying to scratch your head and rub your belly at the same time, or pat your head and rub your belly, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Some people can do it, some people can't. And after you practice it a little while, I was able to get pretty good at it, but it's weird.
Agreed. I don't generally like video modes at all, so this is not a particularly great video mode. That slows down the game in not a good way.
Yeah, not a good way. Agreed. So let's talk about lastability. How long would a game of Johnny Mnemonic last in your collection?
So I've actually had it for a while because you had it and I was babysitting it and I really liked it.
Yeah.
I miss that you don't have it anymore. And I kind of want this game now. I kind of want to buy it and have it in my collection. As I've grown as a collector and I have 13 games, I'd love for Johnny Mnemonic to be one of them in like maybe the deeper aspect of it. I mean, hell, it's VR, guys. And I like it's VR. It's
the Nick Lane theme.
It's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
It's just one of my favorite layouts and the way it shoots. I really like this game. I should be trying to find a way to get it.
I would like you to get this game because I want to play it again too.
I know.
It's not like a game you see out there a lot.
I don't have like a lot of games that I want right now, but I always come back when we talk about Johnny. He's like, yeah, I kind of want that game.
It's good. It's fun.
I know. All right. Well, I should make it happen at some point. When I'm feeling flush with money.
And
I'm feeling flush with money, I'll get a Johnny.
Yeah. I had it at the point in my collection where I had played it so much that I was like, all right, I'm okay.
Yeah.
If I move this on and get something new,
and I get that.
But it wasn't the kind of game where I was like getting to power down all the time, and I was just like, I'm sick of this, get it out of here. It was just like, I only have X number of dollars, so much space, something's got to go. I've played this game to death. It's time to move it on. And I can say that about pretty much every game. There's only so many times you can play the same game so many times, and then you're like, ooh, something new comes out, or you run out of room, and you got to kind of pick and choose what's going to go. What are you playing least? Yeah,
you've had a Shadow, which I don't miss that one.
I don't really miss Shadow.
I play Shadow. I think maybe I missed it. Then I play. I'm like,
yeah.
And you had a what's the other one of that? Congo, and I like that. Yeah. That Congo's too easy.
Yeah.
I think out of like those 3, Johnny Mnemonic is the one that's like that's the best one out of those 3, I'd say.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Even though it doesn't command the most, which is
good. Let's not.
We might be.
I'm just joking. The game sucks.
Let Nick get his first, and then
I don't really want it. It's a piece of garbage. Worst game ever made.
All right. With that said, let's give it a rating. Let's go to the website, and then we can go here, and we can do this.
All right. So here's how we rate this. This is what these numerical ratings mean. So a 0 to 10 is burn it.
0 to 2 is burn it.
0 to 2 is burn it.
0 to 10, just burn them all.
Time for me to go to bed. 3 to 5 is an expensive nightlight. 6 to 8 is a solid game, and 9 to 10 is get your wallets out. All right. Kevin's going to go first this time again.
Johnny to me is a 7. It's a right in the middle of that solid game category. It's not like a theme that people love. Like the movie's not that great. I like the theme for it's the 90 cheese. But for all the things we've said, it's a great game. There's a lot of game there for what it's worth. I would definitely buy one. And I have bought one. I had one in my collection. I had it for a while. Loved it a lot. Still enjoy playing it whenever I get the chance.
All right. For me, I'm gonna say it's an 8.5. I'm really
He's hot on it.
I am really hot on it right now. Like, ask me a year from now, but I really like it. I think what holds it back is the flaw in the spinner. It's a game that came out in 95, so there's one wizard mode, right? There's not too many layers behind it.
Yeah.
But for the value of it, it's a great game.
Yep.
It's just one of those games that, because of theme, people who just like to collect pinball machines and stuff and kind of show off a collection, which is fine. Everybody gets something different out of it. But I think for players and people who are really enthusiastic and kind of can appreciate just a really game that plays really well and it's great shots and kind of can see past a movie that wasn't successful in the box office or whatever, wasn't the best movie ever. It's a great game.
Yeah, I was excited when we put up the vote for this today. I was like, I was hoping this game would win because I really wanted to talk about it. It's one that I have a lot of experience with and really enjoy. So I'm glad we got to talk about it. So there you go. That's our review of Johnny Mnemonic.
All right,
So
take us on home.
let's bring it on home with our closing thoughts. If you like the show, you want to stay connected with us between episodes. We don't do one every week. We do one once a month. So you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, all the things. We're Buffalo Pinball on everything. You can email us if you want to give us feedback, talkpinball@gmail.com.